Right, back to the phone-in. We've got calls coming in from Barry. Hi, who is that? Oh, sorry, I've forgotten the lady's name. I wanted to call you Jean, but it's not Jean, it's Myra.
That's right.
Right, Myra, you're on the air.
Thank you. First of all, Alex, I would like to say that I support the hospice through and through.
Good.
For the simple reason I lost a very, very dear friend, very close to me.
Okay.
I send donations 2 or 3 times a year. I'm a disabled lady myself. My son and my husband has walked the hospice, walked the Wight for the hospice, and they really enjoyed it. Now, I say I send donations through every year as much as I can. And I feel that the people at the end of the walk deserve the medals, and as far as I'm concerned, if you're so concerned about that, my money that I send can pay for the medals.
And mine.
So, I think that you let everybody down, because you said you got up, you were late, blah, 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 children had homework to do. But what was more important? You could do homework any time during the day. You could still have gone on the walk, but you didn't go because it was raining. You was frightened of getting wet. And the other things you say you do for your own ends, and you always have. You're always running people down that are trying to do good. Why aren't people allowed to have a medal at the end to show that they've supported the hospice?
Because they haven't...
My son hasn't got very good health, but he walked it. He walked a lot. And my husband had a very hard job, but he did it. But it's about time you got off your fat ass and did something for this island.
I like that.
Thank you, Myra.
I thought that was a good call. There'll be people out there applauding.
Hello, Barry.
Oh,
don't let it ever be said that I don't let people have their say on this show.
Did you enjoy that, Barry? I like that call.
Can I congratulate you for actually keeping quiet while
she perfectly built up to where we knew she was going. It was
her son quite clearly shouldn't have been doing the walk. If he wasn't healthy enough to be doing it, he shouldn't have been doing it.
It's not that. I mean, that lady has her opinion, you have yours.
Yep.
But what I'm going to say is, I'd be interested to know how many of the thousands that actually walked the Wight would support what you're saying, Alex. Because it would appear to me that quite a few of them that are supporting you haven't actually walked the walk.
Well, some people have walked it, some people haven't. The point is, anyone who walks it and wants a medal at the end is selfish, in my opinion. It's not about the medal, it's about raising the money for the charity. And maybe you could say the whole walk should actually be a sponsored wood chop, where you chop wood and you give it to elderly people for their fires. Then there is something tangible at the end of it. That is the trouble with sponsored bed pushes and sponsored walks. If we'd had a sponsored tidy up the island, tidy up the beaches, that in a way would have been more beneficial to the Isle of Wight. I haven't got a problem with Walk the Wight. I think Walk the Wight is a great thing. I think it's a great family experience. It's quite a humbling experience, but you could say that making a shoebox for children who need a better Christmas in war-torn countries is a better thing to do.
Yeah, but I would have suggested you that a majority of those walkers probably didn't even realise they were going to get a medal at the end.
Well, I say send them in to me, we'll melt them down, and whatever we get scrapped, we give the money to the hospice.
Barry, what about the people who walked last year and the year before? Let's say that for 3 years there's been a medal. Some of those people, I can't remember how many years it's been running. Is it 10, 15 years?
Since 1991.
Supposing those people who've walked for so many years, maybe they've got them all hanging up in their kitchen year after year. Maybe the fact that they want a straight flush of medals would
come
make
on,
them
what
do
kind
it
of
next year
that
and the
is
year
going
after
to look
and the year after
that is going to look tacky. Having medals, unless they're properly framed, maybe on a bed of velvet,
a whole kind of, you know,
you're going over the top now, Alex.
I'm not.
Barry,
I'm just saying.
are you for the medals or against the medals?
I feel like that's similar to that last lady, that I make a donation to the hospice.
You like to keep your support
they
private.
wish to use that money to show appreciation to the walkers by giving them a medal. That's their decision.
Okay,
good for you, Barry. You
Hi.
can't raise money without spending it.
Who's this?
Hello?
Hi, who are you?
I'm Pat from Sandown.
Hello, Pat. Welcome to the phone. And what do you want to say?
Surely with all the contacts that you've got,
Couldn't you get sponsors to cover the cost of the medals?
Well, he has said to me, and I know maybe he won't say this on air, but he did say to me this morning, because he told me about the controversy of yesterday's phone, he said to me, do you know what, the thing is, all I want to do, he does support the hospice, all I want to do, he said to me, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, I want to raise more money for the hospice. That's what I think he's got upset because he, in his heart, he does want to raise more money for the hospice.
Well,
he does support the hospice.
If people want the medals, surely there's sponsors out there on the island that will be willing to pay.
But why can't they buy the medal? Why can't, when they register for £5 or £10 or whatever it is, why can't they say there's an extra £1 if you'd like a medal at the end? You know why? Because it would shame those people into thinking, oh, well, I don't want to buy the medal.
Yeah. But I think that children definitely should
Yes,
have
children
medals.
should have something.
When we handed out those medals, we didn't just throw them on over people's necks, you know, against under duress or under any kind of protest. As we handed people the medals, do you know what we said all day? Well done and thank you.
Oh, yeah, but you're not Jimmy Savile. It's
well
not
done.
Jim
Thank
Fix
you.
It.
Yeah, but someone, if you've raised a lot of money for a good cause, if you've walked in that driving rain and wind and rotten conditions,
you want all the money to go to the hospital to look after the patients.
But you also want someone to say thank you at the end of it.
Hi, who's this?
Hello, Alec. Right, I don't know whether you've noticed in the Sun of today there is an actual mention of the Isle of Wight walk.
No, I don't read the Sun, actually.
Right, well, on page 15, and it tells you about the two guys that completed it on stilts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was fantastic. And, of course, because they did it on stilts, they got some media interest.
They did.
And medals.
Yes, and what I'm saying to you is, why don't you pick up on this? With this Walk the Wight, there's a lot of people out there that do it as a profession. Why can't Isle of Wight Radio get a couple of them, or 3 of them involved, and it goes into the big rags, the tabloids, and it promotes it?
I don't see what the difference is between them doing it independently and Isle of Wight Radio getting involved in. It would just look like a local radio station getting on the back of, I think, 2 guys doing it on stilts. I think they as long as the walk is promoted, the radio station shouldn't get any glory out of it.
Well, no, I'm not saying that, but because you're in the media, you connect with everybody, you've got the Sony Award, etc., etc., why can you not put out a few feelers to get a couple of good so-called walkers that represent England, that can put their names forward, which will give you so much media coverage, then there wouldn't be any of this.
All right, well, thank you very much. Leave it with us.
Little sunspot here. It says, wacky Chris Harris, 20, and Ben Andrews, 19, have set a world record by walking 26.5 miles around the Isle of Wight on stilts in under 9 hours.
There we are.
No mention of the hospice.
No, it's a shame, but, you know, it's better than nothing. Hi, who's this?
Surprise, surprise.
Hello, Fred, how are you?
Well, not too bad.
Good. Well, nice to have you on the show. Have you...
Doing very well, are you? You done worse yesterday, I think.
Well, Fred...
Let me just tell you this, Alex. Don't butt in, because I know you were trying to sidetrack me, so that's why I talk. You can't talk. But I will just say this. Congratulations to all those people that did the walk, and congratulations to all those people that supported them. Apparently, you weren't one. But you were one of the first to jump on the bandwagon after people raised that money and you're telling them how to spend it. And I think that's where the trouble is.
What do you mean you think that's where the trouble is?
Well, you're getting all this flack of what you were saying yesterday. You didn't do a thing to help them.
Well, I promoted it on air for 8 weeks.
But Fred, also, in fairness, you don't know that he hasn't donated a decent sum to the hospice.
No, I know. But, I mean, he says what he does. I mean, he said this morning, 17 years he's done Isle of Wight Radio and one thing and another. He didn't say 17 years he's been collecting the salary, and he doesn't say anything about when he puts his program on, he invites his guests there, and they don't come. He gets that all free. They don't get a penny for it.
But that's to do with the radio station, not me. If the radio station don't pay a guest fee, which they don't because the station isn't big enough to have the budget, that's not my fault, Fred.
I'm not saying it is, but you're complaining about everybody else.